This is from the Lenape people of North America. Once upon a time, there was a tribe, and they were looking for somewhere to winter. And they travelled and they travelled and travelled, and they finally found a place where there was a beautiful lake, and they could see there were many creatures, and they could see the land was still fertile and green. And they decided this would be a good place to settle. So they built their lodges, and they settled in. And the children, at the end of the day, when they'd done their tasks, they went down to the edge of the lake. And one of the boys, he took a sort of a hollow tree trunk and started beating on it. And the children danced, and they danced, and they danced, and they danced. But one day, suddenly they realised there was a man not of their village, a man with white hair and white feathers, said, "Do not dance, stop dancing." And they looked at him and said, "Why not?" And he said, "This is sacred ground. You dance here and bad things will happen." But the children said, "We've always been dancing here. Nothing bad has happened so far." And the boy with the drum started the beat, and the children danced. That man, he came several times, but the children just didn't take any notice of him. And yet, as the nights drew in, as it got colder and colder, as the food got scarcer and scarcer, still the children danced. And they asked their parents for something to eat after they finished dancing, but their parents said, "No, come home, we'll have something there." So the children went and they danced, and they were feeling quite lightheaded because they were still feeling hungry. And then one boy noticed, "Oh my goodness," he was floating up from the ground. "Look at me," he said. And the children looked at him and then realised that they too were drifting up into the sky. An old woman saw them, and she ran home back to the lodges. "Your children, your children." And the parents came and they tried to see their children, and their children were above their heads, and they tried to reach out to grab them to come down, and they wouldn't, they couldn't. The children floated higher and higher and higher into the sky. And one of the boys said, "Don't look down, anyone." But one of the little girls did. She looked down, and as soon as she looked down, shoo, she turned into a meteor and landed on the ground. But the other children, they floated up into the sky. And they went so far up that they are now stars, stars that we call the Pleiades. Thank you.